I thought since it's raining out, this would be a good moment to show you all some of the rainwater collection system on the truck. So come over here, show you. This is the two output sections here, overflow output. So got this one and this one are both overflow output for the rainwater collection. You can see it goes through right here. So comes down and goes right out. Right now into here. So I got the one extra higher up one. So this is if the tank gets a little high and starts kind of overflowing above its line, then this one will start flowing through. So far, I don't think any water's ever came out of this one, but if there's a deluge, like a whole lot of water starts coming through, I don't want to end up with a big mess in the truck. So I do have two gutters on this. So here's the back gutter now. Take you up there so you can see a little more clearly. You can see it right here. I've got this gutter guard over it. So and this gutter guard is NSF certified for rainwater collection. So supposedly it takes, even worms and stuff can't get through it. However, pine needles can, I have discovered, and they've actually kind of collected a little bit right inside of there. Kind of a little bit of a mess. So at some point here, I'm going to have to lift this up, which just requires me unscrewing this and then undoing the silicone, lift it up, clean that out, and then put it back on. So then you can see on my roof, I do have a waterproof sealant on top, which does kind of come off a little bit. It's been on there now for a few years. So I did not scuff the roof before I put it on though. So that's why it's coming off. That was a mistake of mine. Plan to eventually, as more of it starts to erode, I will redo it. So, and this is also NSF certified. This is Tropicool. It's NSF certified for rainwater collection as well too. So that just limits the amount of aluminum that could potentially interfere with the water, making the water slightly toxic. So you put that on top just to protect it for drinking, even though I do have a pretty intense filtration system that would filter most of that out anyway. It's just extra precaution. Good to have that. Inside the truck here, I'm still kind of getting set up. Got a little rain on there. Really rain on the screen as I'm looking at this. So still kind of getting things set up a little bit in here, but I can show you right here. So I can go on this. You can actually see this is where all the rainwater is going. Now, tough to open one-handed. Side there. Put this up. You can see it's coming in right there. That's why you're seeing water movement right now. So this isn't a one-stop shop, of course. So, as it comes in there, then goes down into here. See, or not see, because it's kind of dark in there. Comes down, there's a pump inside of there though, and that pump brings the water down into this. So when it first goes in, it goes into this here, this filter. This is a 0.5 micron filter, so supposedly can even filter out Giardia. I think it's Pentair makes them. It's NSF certified and verified by a third party. So then from this, it goes into this tinier tube here and then pushes down into this. Now this is a LED UV filter, so an ultraviolet light filter with an LED inside. So rather than using the old fluorescent tubes, which are what all the other old UV filters, these things are pretty new. They've only just been coming out in the last few years. And I was able to get this off Amazon for about 150 bucks. I was originally thinking about putting one of those UV ones with the fluorescent tube, but after looking into that more, I kind of thought, well, if that breaks while the truck's bouncing around, that could be a big mess and a problem. So I decided to hold off on that. And then they came out with these, and I was like, well, I'm going to try it out, put it in there, and it seems to be working pretty good. And that goes into this calcite filter here. After that, now the calcite filter, this is for acidification. So this will bring your pH back to normal. And it regulates itself. Basically, if the water needs it, it will be added to the water, essentially. So it's inside of those. And then it goes up from that tube and draws through, and then it goes to 8 Cornelius kegs that I have stored. They're all behind this thing here. So I'll actually show you here. When I turn this on here, this is the rain filter. Oh, I have to have the power turned on first, of course. That would help. Turn the rain filter on, and you can hear it pumping there. And that's potentially, that is filling the kegs right now. Not pretty full right now, so I don't want to go too far. I do have float valves in there, just see in the build video, but they have not worked 100%. They are kind of, I don't know, they leak. So that ends up with them leaking. And so, but they do cause pressure, which makes the pump run slower. And at the point when the pump runs slower, I just turn it off. So, and then I flick this switch, and that turns on my faucets. And you can hear the faucets getting filled up right now. And there they go, they're full. So, and then I can use the water here. Now with the faucets on. And you'll see I have the water set up as foot valves. Now this is a new foot valve. I just installed this one. The old one I had was just a cheap one I bought off Amazon for $20. This one is a fairly expensive Zern foot pedal. This was $160, but it comes with a 3-year warranty and it works very nice. So, let's see, just a little push valve. So I did this because, you know, it's 40 gallons of water, which is a pretty decent amount, but still, if I'm in a dry environment, it runs out, it runs out. You know, I'm living in the Adirondacks right now though, and we've been getting pretty wet lately, which is good, but sometimes we're dry. So it's probably a good idea, rather than having a normal faucet, to have a way that I can actually control how much water is coming out at a time. So, and then this controls how hot it gets. If I head to the left, if I bring it to the right, it goes to the hot through the hot water heater. So I have a hot water heater. It's a Bosch 4-gallon heater that's behind this. It runs off the AC, off the inverter that I have hooked up. Shower, I have the same thing. This is cool. So I've got this wand here, which has its own little on-off switch, but I don't really need to use that because it also has the foot valve down here. Now the trick to this one is, so I didn't want to just have the foot valve in here, come in and like press on it on accident, and all of a sudden a bunch of water comes pouring out. And I get all wet while maybe I'm sitting on the toilet here. So rather than having to worry about that, I put this little switch in. This is just a valve right here. And you have to actually lift it up here. Once I lift it up, you can see it's activated. And there you have it. Rainwater shower. Filtered and cleaned.